ABC Radio Sydney with James Valentine. We're going underground in the next little while. I don't know if you remember this, because I feel like, yeah, and I think it's right, I think there was this sort of focus on these groups that used to go under Sydney and under Melbourne and into the drains and into the sewers. They're known as the Cave Clan. And it used to be sort of a regular kind of story, a regular thing that people would feature. And I don't feel like they've been talked about for quite a while. But ABC iView's got a 6-part series on them at the moment. So we'll be talking to Dougo, that's all he's known as, who's one of the founders of the Cave Clan back in the 80s, in the next little while. Let's have... you're on ABC Radio in Sydney. It's 27 minutes to the hour of 2. Back in the 80s, gang of youngsters decided, what's down there? Asked the question, what's down there? And started to go into the drains, the tunnels, the stormwater drains, particularly of Melbourne and eventually of Sydney. ABC iView is running a series called Cave Clan Underground Artists, because the purpose was not just to go down and have a bit of a look and a bit of a thrill. It turned into almost more like an art movement. Dougo, which I think is your name, the only name by which you'll go this afternoon. I understand why, Dougo, you can't be sort of, maybe you don't want to be, maybe it's still an underground movement. You're still on the run. But Dougo, nice to have you along. How are you?
Good, thanks, mate.
And what drove you underground back in 85, 86?
Look, I just sort of, for some reason, was always interested in tunnels, be they caves and mines or whatever, and just the geographics of where I grew up, there was a lot of drains and that sort of thing, so I sort of, curiosity sort of got the better of me, and I started going in them, and that's where it all started.
I mean, I think there is there is an attraction, isn't it? We've done it often on the radio. We'll get people calling about sort of tunnels they know under Sydney, stories they have, and people love to talk about the hidden railway stations or some of the World War II tunnels and that kind of thing. So we are drawn to them.
Yeah, people love it.
Yeah.
We for 30 years I've just had people emailing me or sending letters in when we had our PO box, and with rumours or chasing rumours. It's just something that just really grabs people.
Yeah, and Cave Clan, it did have a sort of notoriety for a while, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. We probably bit silly at times. We in Melbourne, or how we basically spread our name around and gained new members was by putting stickers up around the capital cities, and along with that, and just making silly videos and all that sort of that online presence sort of thing.
Right. So you did invite it as such.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. We yeah.
Why was that?
Yes.
Why did you want attention? What were you trying to say something?
Well, my reasons probably goes against the flow of most people that do it, but I basically wanted to know, find out more about these secret train tunnels and things like that. And back before there was Google, the only way I could think of doing it was through local knowledge. So that was my reason for spreading the word and getting our name out there, and it worked.
So what was the more mainstream reason then?
The more mainstream reason.
What was it? So you said like your reason was different to others. What
others probably do it for a bit of fame or right. To annoy people. Like a lot of people that I know will probably be shaking their head at me talking talking on the radio about it. So.
I've been down old mine shafts around Victorian goldfields, and if somebody said this afternoon let's go down the Tank Stream, maybe not today, it's been a bit wet, under Sydney, or there's tours into Busby's Bore under Centennial Park, I'd do it if someone knew what they were doing. It seems a whole other level to sort of go, let's go down here and see what's there.
Look, I would never recommend that anyone just hear this and go, I'm going to go in that pipe at the end of my street. It's look, it can be very dangerous, and especially on like days like today, we would never even consider doing it.
Right.
And nor should anyone. And really, people shouldn't just do it at the like they should really look into it a bit more way before they even consider.
So once there's the initial curiosity, and then there's a few of you starting to do it, what what happens? What drove it on? Because again, I could see you might do it for a while and it's kind of intriguing, but there started to get more to it than that.
Yeah, I guess with Melbourne, we sort of kept spreading to all areas of Melbourne, and then the next obvious thing for us seemed to be Sydney. So wanting to know more, and because in my case, I was pretty obsessed with it. I suppose if you're doing it 30 years later, that's pretty obvious. But so then we went up to Sydney and started spreading the word up there and doing basically the same thing. It was a bit harder in Sydney than it was in Melbourne because we didn't know Sydney very well.
Right.
And until we started getting a few contacts in Sydney, and then the Sydney group started up. I think that was about 1990.
And legally, where does it sit? You make an interesting point in the iView series, where it's sort of like, you kind of have a view that these are public spaces, really.
Generally, look, with the drains, we're taking some kind of risk, sort of a calculated risk going into them. It's generally in Victoria, it's a bylaw. I've had a lot of encounters with the police, and they've generally just, once they realise what we're doing, they're sort of just like, oh, what's down there, sort of thing. And over the years, I think only a couple of people have actually been charged with anything, and that's more to do with the other types of tunnels, like steam tunnels and things like that have been trespassed. But, generally the police seem to just take it with a grain of salt.
Right. And so this became not just sort of exploration, but a kind of an artistic movement. You started to exhibit, you started to perform down there. It became the more people that joined, the more of a social thing it came. And along with, we weren't attracting your everyday Joe Blow. So, we had a lot of people that were into music and photographers and general, a lot of graffitiists were there was a bit of a crossover with graffiti, but and then just general artists doing paintings and all that sort of thing. So as it grew, that side of it grew also. It wasn't like a goal. It just happened. The whole thing just sort of happened. Yeah.
I didn't plan 30 years ago to be sitting in ABC. Talking to you about it.
Talking about it, yeah. But a sort of nostalgic feel now. Oh, I remember the Cave Clan of the 80s. You're like a pop band.
Yeah, kind of. Although I don't really get to feel that, but I do. I do get a bit of feedback, and with the iView series, I've had a lot of people contact me and people that didn't know I was involved in it. So that's been interesting as well.
Right.
But,
is there an Everest for the underground drain people? Is there a particular one that oh man, have you done that? It's unreal.
Well, my one was Harry Lime's The Third Man tunnels used in the movie The Third Man in Austria, and in 2001 I got to go and do them, and that for me that was my Everest. As far as drains go, that would probably be a lot of people's Everest, so to speak.
And you're still doing it now, you said?
Well, I'm 48 and got a 6 and 8-year-old child, so I do it when I can.
Right, it's not the same. Will you introduce them to it?
No.
No?
Well, no. My older daughter.
That's right. That's
already.
Doug, can I just point out, Dougo's in the Melbourne studios where they're digging tunnels under him right now.
You can hear that.
Yeah,
okay,
you can just hear it. Yeah. But don't worry about it. On you go. Yeah.
No, but my oldest daughter, she's aware of it now, and she's been in a couple of mine tours and things like that. It's not that I mean, she's already introduced to it, but I won't be pushing her to do it. I'm sure my wife wouldn't be pushing her either.
So it's not at the age of 10 you'll go, darling, we're going to Swanson Street manhole, and down we go.
Maybe not. I don't know how long my marriage would last if that was the case.
Okay, great to meet you, and thanks so much for coming along.
No worries.
Good to talk to you.
Talking to you.
Cave Clan Underground Artists can be seen on ABC iView at the moment. If you go to the Arts Channel portal on ABC iView, you'll find it there. It's about a 6-7 part series looking at those artists who explore and develop work underground. It's called Cave Clan Underground Artists. You're on ABC Radio Sydney. Enjoy some music from Hatfits and Kara, because after that I'm going to be angry.